Today on Singles Court, Maxine can't help it if she's looking fine.
When a girl's got it going on, it's tough to turn it off.
But Karen says those guys were mine.
They were staring at her, you know, and carrying on. She was and carrying on.
Maybe Karen should just grow a spine.
Just because I'm not tall enough to be a model.
And Patty wants to have Sam's baby.
It just seems to me the right time.
But Sam's saying, whoa, baby.
I don't feel that I am, at this point in my life, father material. I just don't feel that.
The bio clock is ticking.
I don't feel that I'm ready right now. I just think that it's too much pressure to put on this thing right now, and I don't.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Singles Court, the #1 show on the Singles Broadcast Network. I'm the show's producer, Michael Day, the man behind the curtain, only we couldn't afford a curtain. But ignore me nonetheless. And please pay attention to our lovely host, relationship mediator, Angela Segal.
How are you doing, Michael?
I am doing great today. I got my coffee by my side, my clipboard in front of me. I have everything I need.
And I've been to the mall, and I can tell you, good things happen in there. Singles hooking up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's
I'm
been
surprised they dragged you out of here and made it back into the studio.
Well, you know, I'm going back as soon as we're done.
Woo, well, then let's get this case over with. In our studio today, we have two singles. We have Maxine, who is a model, and Karen, who's a legal assistant. The two have been best friends since high school. However, Karen believes that since Maxine became a model, she's become addicted to attention. I call this the case of, don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Well, Karen, it seems as though attention's coming between your friendship. What seems to be the problem?
Well, I mean, we grew up, we had a very, very good relationship, and we were best friends, and, you know, then she, like, sprouted up and kind of got tall. And,
I grew.
Yeah, and she, you know, got these modeling contracts, and, you know, she did well or whatever, but everywhere we go into the room, and she just, like, busts in the room. She has
a problem with the fact that I've grown and I've become a model, you know?
Oh, you know, everything has to be surrounded by her.
You know, everything has to be surrounded by me.
Yes, you know, you walk into the tightest little outfits with the
it's
chest
not my fault if some guy is interested in getting to know me.
Question for you, Karen. Did you have a problem with the friendship because she got taller? I mean, I guess I'm missing something here. What is it that she's doing? She can't help it if she got taller.
Well, she's using the you know, she grew taller, she became a model, because, you know, I mean, you have to have height to be a model, so they say. And she just, like, started, like, moving in different circles, forgetting about our friendship.
Excuse me, I have never forgotten about our friendship, Karen.
She lives with her head in the clouds.
Maxine, why does she think you've forgotten about her? I mean, that's not uncommon. You know, people feel like you do better and you forget about your old friends. You know the story.
Well, no, the problem is that, you know, Karen and I, we've known each other for years, okay? And we've been going out a lot to clubs
and the true fact of it is,
every time that we go out to a club, she gets all upset and furious with me because some guys
That's exactly it.
try to hit on me.
She uses me to go to the clubs. First of all, because
hello. I'm still here. I'm part of this. I'm a human.
Okay.
When a girl's got it going on, it's tough to turn it off. I know.
And the thing is, she's got a problem with the fact that, you know what, guys,
she uses me to walk into the club because she doesn't want to go alone.
You know, she doesn't want to go alone. I don't know what her problem is. And you know what? It really upsets me.
Well, you know what? We're in good company here because I'm upset too. This seems really catty. So why don't you tell me, Karen, what it is that you're really upset with? Is it that, give me an example.
Yes.
You're in a nightclub,
we went
she walks
to a club, the girls hadn't hung out for a long time. We were having a great girl, you know, situation going on. These two guys come over to the table. She invites them to sit down. Doesn't even care what we were talking about.
Walked over to the table and actually invited themselves over.
I can see why she has a problem with you. You're like all in it. I mean, you got the butt up and everything. So.
Just stand there and look pretty.
I left because all she was concerned about was them. They were staring at her, you know, and carrying on. She was and carrying on. So I left. She wanted to be alone.
Wait a minute.
No,
back up.
The matter is,
Maxine, back up. You said she was What does that mean? Oh, she was like,
yeah, what does wearing mean?
Look
Tell
what
me
she's
what
wearing.
means, huh?
You know,
So
she
you don't-
uses
you don't-
everything. You know, this model thing, she got a little tall.
Look, you know what, Karen, you got a problem with the fact that I look good, okay? And men seem to be attracted to me. That's
And
all.
she stole my boyfriend.
What? I didn't steal your boyfriend.
Yes, you did.
No, I'm sorry. You
Yes,
dumped
you
his
did.
ass.
Maxine. Woo! We don't curse in this forum, ever. Now tell me, obviously you see she has a problem. It's coming between your friendship. What do you do as a friend to help her feel included?
Well, I invite her out with me all the time. I mean, I call her up and I say, Karen, what are you doing this evening? And she goes, nothing. And I, we say, let's go out.
That is not what I asked you. You know, you're so busy being cute, you're not even listening. I said, what do you do to make her feel comfortable within the friendship? You know she has issue with the fact that she feels as though you're getting more attention than she is. That's human.
She's selfish.
No, let her answer the question.
You know what? I've just been her friend. You know?
How?
How? I mean, I listen to what she has to say. I hear what she has to say. But the fact of the matter is that this used to be, this is basically a role reversal.
She's self-centered.
No, I'm not
You're
selfish and
egotistical.
self-centered.
Yes,
no,
you
know what? This sounds
Karen?
familiar to me, okay? This brings me back to when we were in high school, okay? I was the ugly duckling, okay? Nobody even looked my way. You were the one flaunting yourself with all the men, and you always had all the guys at school.
So how did that make you feel?
I felt excluded.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you remember what that felt like?
Yeah, I felt really hurt, and I had a low self-esteem, so I just took a back seat, but I never gave her any grief about it.
Okay, so now, let's go back to that feeling. So since you remember that feeling, what are you doing? Because she sounds like she feels the same way. She's your friend. What are you doing so that she doesn't feel like you felt? You know what it felt like.
But that's not the point, though.
That is the point.
No, the point is I never gave her grief.
That's the point. That's why you're here. That is the point. So what are you doing to make her feel better?
Yeah, she doesn't understand. Sorry, excuse me.
What are you doing to make her feel better about feeling like you felt when you were hurt, excluded, and alone?
Well, I talk to her about it. I tell her I understand how she's feeling. But, that's not enough for Karen. Karen just
keep your head in the clouds.
Excuse me, I keep my head in the clouds?
Karen, what does she...
I never keep my head in the clouds, girlfriend.
I work in a regular job just because I'm not tall enough to be a model.
Karen, you know what, Karen? I'm listening to you.
Yep.
And I'm really trying to find a spot for you to feel better. But what I keep hearing is, I'm not tall enough to be a model. She's cute and
Yeah, Angela, I understand.
You're not her. You're you. So you're trying to make you feel better, but you're not even giving her an opportunity.
She hasn't changed. And
I haven't changed.
She has.
I'm still your old friend, Karen.
Give me an example of how she's changed.
Specific, we don't spend any time. We don't talk like we used to. We can't even sit down at a table.
We go out to a club, and what you do is you get up and leave me there.
Without having
what do you do about it?
Wanting all of this attention.
Okay, Karen, what do you do about it?
Karen, no.
Maxine, put some makeup on, chill. What do you do to let her know that you're feeling hurt? You want to be included. What do? You have to take some responsibility here. You're not 3 years old.
I guess I have to tell her the truth about how I feel.
Okay, have you done that?
Tried to.
No, she hasn't done that.
Okay, well now she has. So now you know how she feels. What are you going to do about it?
Well, all I can do is just be aware about it. I can't change who I am.
Who are you?
She has to accept me as her friend.
Maxine, let's go back to the club. You're sitting in the club. 2 guys come over. What can you do to make sure she's included?
Well, we can sit and talk, or I could tell the guys, look, you know what? I'm here with my friend right now.
There's a revelation. I'll be back with my resolution. Maybe the 2 of you can stay friends long enough for me to come back. Friends don't let friends drive down the road of self-pity. Maxine, you've got it going on. You blossom. You're beautiful. That's great. And I can tell you from personal experience, when you grow from an ugly duckling to a swan, you want to show everybody. I don't blame you on that. I really don't. But you have to protect the friendships. You have to protect the things that are important to you. And, Karen, I see you as being sort of jealous of her success, and that's understandable. That's a human emotion we all have. And it's okay to feel that way, but you can't let it poison the friendship. You can't let it be the weapon that totally dissolves what's good between the 2 of you. You know, friendships are really based on that watering hole, that place where you can both go for strength and both go and know that you can be revived. And that's something you have to protect. It's really hard when the other person gets attention and you don't, because you sit there and you feel kind of like the third wheel. And when you look at it, Maxine, you probably feel, why should I have to lift her up and kind of put myself in a position where I'm not getting the attention? But it's not an either or. It's a, I value the friendship, so therefore it's worth it. You know, this friendship can in fact be a model friendship. It can be almost perfect. But the one thing you must both remember is that beauty is only skin deep. And that's that in black and white.
Next on Singles Court, Patty wants to have Sam's baby.
It just seems to me the right time.
But Sam's saying, whoa, baby.
I don't feel that I am, at this point in my life, father material.
Angela, if I may just...
The bio clock is ticking.
I just think that it's too much pressure to put on this thing right now.
And Singles Court is back with relationship mediator Angela Segal.
You know, you have the headphones on, you're jamming.
Just getting my daily dose of funk.
Okay.
Okay, but let's get down to business. In the studio today, we have Patty and Sam. Now, everything's going great for these two. They're in a long-term relationship. They love each other very much. But you know, the old saying, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes in the baby carriage. However, Sam is saying, whoa, to the baby. Now, I'm just going to let them explain it a little better, but I call this the case of the really reluctant father, or pregnant pause, or
let's get on with the case. He's creative, what can I say? Patty, you seem to have a problem here with this baby thing. What's going on?
Well, Sam and I have been together for over 2 years now, and I am well into my 30s, so I'm very aware of the biological clock ticking away. And my feeling is we're ready to get married, and the next logical step is to have a child together.
I have absolutely no problem getting married. I've said that. I've just said that before we came in here. This is constantly coming up. I have no problem getting married. It's just that I feel that our lives right now are full. We have a great social life, wonderful friends. We get to travel.
Well, actually, all of our friends are having children now.
Very much in love.
We're surrounded by family.
And
we both
so I don't know why we want to bring a kid at this point into that mix. We haven't even discovered.
You know what? I mean, Patty, in Sam's defense, I mean, you said the next logical step. Yeah. Well, but explain the logic behind that. Is it logical for you? Do you think that's logical for everybody?
I think a logical...
Well, you know, let her answer, and then we'll both find out.
Thank you, Angela. It's logical for me because we have everything in place. We have supportive family surrounding us. We have friends who have children that our children could play with. We both have careers. We have money in the bank. It just seems to me the right time for us to have a child.
Angela, we don't have money in the bank. This is my point. I just started a new company. I'm a construction worker. I just started a new company that is my company, where I'm totally overextended. I have more workers.
Okay. You're giving me like things, money, but let's get down to the root of, in a perfect world, in that you had the money and all the other things you say are the reasons you don't want to have a child, would you want to have a child?
I just don't feel that, and this is nothing against Patty, because Patty would be a fantastic mother. I know she would be a fantastic mother. I see her with her nieces and nephews. And
you should see.
How about answering the question?
I don't feel that I am, at this point in my life, father material. I just don't feel that, and I don't see
he is incredible with children. My nieces, he dotes on them like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, but
I mean,
they're
at her
your
birthday
nieces,
party,
Patty. That's the whole issue. We don't have to bring them home. We don't have to deal with them.
Pat, I have to say that, I mean, he's saying to you, I don't want a kid. And you're saying, you do want a kid. You really do. Let me tell you all the reasons you do. Help me understand how you're trying to change why you're trying to change his mind.
I'm not trying to change his mind. we're so much in love. I just feel like I see him with children, and I can't understand why he doesn't want to be a father.
Why can't you understand that he doesn't want a child?
Well, I guess I'm hurt that he doesn't want to have one with me, and I just don't understand.
About that. I mean, I would, you know, maybe in the future. I don't know, but I'm talking about
right. Big deal. Stop being a baby and have a baby.
I'm just talking. Well, no, because it's
Sam,
something
help me understand, because this is, you know, this is not unusual.
Okay, Angela, you bring a child into the world in just the way it is right now, and everything else. I mean, you're afraid from the minute that she gets pregnant to the minute that she has the child. Then she has the child. You have no idea what's going to happen to the child. You have no idea if you're going to see the child. Whatever is.
What are you talking about?
Happening. And besides, it's not against Patty. I think she'd be, Well, you know, she'd be a really...
So if I'd be a great mother, what's the problem? I don't understand.
Because I don't feel that I'm ready right now. I just think that it's too much pressure to put on this thing right now, and I don't feel that I'm going to be able to handle it.
Sam,
you know, I just...
Okay, question. Because you all had this conversation already together, and you couldn't resolve it. That's why you're here, remember? So look at me and answer this to me, for me. Help me understand, because you have like these ideas of what you think is going to happen, and it makes you like really frantic. Like, where do they come from? Where does the idea come from that you get pregnant and then you can't find the child? I mean, where does all that come from?
Just, you know, I guess it's just a fear that I have.
Well, why? Where's the fear rooted in? Why? I mean, it wasn't a movie you saw when you were 3 years old. I mean, where did it come from?
Well, it's just something I feel. I don't know.
No, no. You do know.
There's got to be a reason.
You do know. You need to, because if you can tell me why you feel this way, then maybe we can get to the bottom of this. Why do you have this fear that all these terrible things are going to happen if you have a child? This is the part where you answer.
Because this happened before.
Happened before what?
I had a child in high school.
Okay, and where would that child happen to be now?
I don't know.
Well, enlighten us. So you had a child in high school. Did you know this, Patty?
Yeah.
No, I did not know this, and I can't believe that he couldn't share that with me.
I didn't tell Patty.
That makes me really sad that he couldn't even share that with me.
I didn't think it was something that it happened a long time ago.
Okay, but,
so that
a child happening a long time ago.
I had a child.
Funny thing about children, because they happen a long time ago, but they kind of stay around for a long time too. So it kind of helped me to understand the whole story, like what happened.
I was with a girl, a young woman in high school, and she got pregnant, and I didn't want her to have the child. I was absolutely terrified, and she did have the child. And then it was my child, Robbie, and
your son.
My son. It was amazing. For a while, it was just. I was the happiest father I guess anybody could ever be, and then gradually it just began to fall apart.
So now this child is where?
Well, about 2 weeks before Robbie's second birthday, she just left with him and another guy.
So you haven't seen him since?
I tried everything. I hired a private detective and put him on the child watch, and I even traveled to Chicago once. They thought he was there. I traveled to Minnesota because I thought he was there.
You've never been able to find him?
No.
Okay. Well, Patty, I mean, that's a big bombshell. You didn't know he had a kid. Now you know he has a kid somewhere. And, you know, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about what he just said?
Well, I guess I just want you to know that I would welcome Robbie into our lives if you found him. I mean, I can't believe that you couldn't share this with me. And
I just really
Patty, do you understand the point, though? The point, that's one point, and that's great that you're accepting. But what I'm asking you is, how do you feel about the fact that A, he didn't tell you, and B, that he has a real fear about that happening again?
It makes me very sad because it makes me think that he's limiting what our relationship could be. And I would never do anything like that to you. I would never leave you. I mean, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me, this relationship.
So explain to me, Sam, why now you love this woman. So explain to me where your fear is. Is your fear only in that? I mean, now you know she knows the cat's out of the bag. So is your fear in that she won't be a good mother for you to do it again?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing like that.
What do you still feel the same way now that she knows?
I would say that I'm still frightened.
Okay.
I guess.
I'll be back with my resolution. You think about that. You know, fatherhood is a big responsibility. It doesn't really wait for you to be ready. You know, Patty, you have to respect the fact that when your partner, in this case Sam, doesn't want to have children, you have to accept that that's what he wants. He doesn't want to. And that's a sale you don't want to make. You don't want to win that argument, because what happens is when you convince him through all the other reasons why you think he'll be a great father, if he doesn't want to, you've made the sale and it was not his wishes. That's never a good idea. Sam, you on the other hand, your fear, it's understandable. I understand why you're afraid, and I understand that you had a bad experience. You know, but I didn't see you swear off girlfriends. I didn't see you swear off relationships. You just swore off fatherhood. So it's not as if you said, oh, I'm never going to do this again. You did everything else, you just didn't do the father thing. You know, relationships, especially long-term committed relationships, have to have a complement when it comes to the core values. And whether or not to have children is a core value. That's not something that you try to convince the other person of later on down the road. And if you think about it, a baby coming into a committed relationship is wonderful. It's a joyous occasion when it's under the right circumstances. When it's under the wrong circumstances, it can be a delivery that's not very welcomed, and it can burden the relationship forever. So I suggest you all sit down and think about this one real long and hard before you send out the birth announcements. And that's that in black and white.
Well, there it is. When it comes to relationships, good looks can turn into dirty looks if friends don't agree to kiss and make up. And when two people decide they want to have a baby, well, let's make sure two people have decided they want to have a baby before you invite a third into the mix. Join us next time here at Singles Court, the final word for singles.